This video is for those of you who are looking for a budget backpack, especially I think for some people who are looking for a backpack to do winter backpacking. Oftentimes your winter backpack will be larger than your spring or summer backpack, and not everybody wants to spend a lot of money on a backpack that they're only going to use maybe a few times. So during the course of the winter, say like, I don't know, I know November is not officially winter, but say when you're bringing heavier loads, at least for me, that would probably be from like November to maybe April or so. That's when I'm least likely to go on overnight trips. And so I'm also least likely to want to spend a lot of money on a backpack. I'm also least likely to want to spend a lot of money on anything all season round. So this backpack would scare some people away because it's a no-name brand. You're not going to see a lot of people out there endorsing cheap backpacks, and I think that that's too bad, because I think this is something that obviously the backpack, your shelter, and your sleeping bag are sort of those, you know, the big ticket items, and oftentimes if you are watching other channels, you feel like you need to spend a ton of money for those things, and you don't. Especially if you're willing to go lightweight. Let me just throw that in there. So this backpack, I would not take on multiple, I would not take this out for a week. Maybe I would. I take that back. I probably would. But this is not a backpack that I would take out heavily loaded. I would worry a little bit about the stress on the straps. Even though it's shown no signs of wear, it's probably just in my head, but this is something that I definitely pack up with light loads for the winter. And so it is called Outlife. I will edit in some pictures of you being able to see the whole thing on the ground right about here. And this is a backpack which I was a little leery of getting because of the price. It's cost me $43. And when I got it, it weighed a little bit over 2 pounds. Cutting some straps, getting rid of some straps, it's now down to 1.99 pounds. And I've even considered cutting off the waist belt. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. There are some other straps on here I can cut down, but for some reason, as soon as I got it under 2 pounds, I stopped whittling away at it. This is one of those waist straps that is absolutely useless to really use as load bearing. It definitely does take some of the load and put it on your hips, but it's more for stabilizing the bigger pack. But again, it will take some of the load to your hips. I've watched some videos on people talking about backpacks, especially cheaper ones, and they kind of talk about how it has this nice soft waist belt, and that's it's garbage. It's not about how soft your waist belt is, it's about other things, which we won't get into in that video here. You can have a very stiff waist belt and it can be awesome. That's for another video. And so I don't load this up with a lot of weight. This past Friday, I had probably a grand total of about maybe, 10-pound base weight, along with the water and a little bit of food. So maybe it was, 14 pounds, or actually the water, maybe about 15 pounds. So it wasn't much weight. What I did find happening was I threw it on my back. I was getting some stuff ready, and all of a sudden I was hiking, and all of a sudden I realized I didn't even have the waist belt buckled. So it does hold that weight just fine without the waist belt. It does have a little pocket on the waist belt. I guess you can cut it off if you wanted to, but it's not like something that just slides on and off. It does have these funky zipper things. I got rid of a whole bunch of those to lose a little bit of weight. It has a top brain that does not disconnect. It is stuck on there. And other than that, there is nothing fancy about this whatsoever. But it easily fits all the things I need for a winter backpacking trip, especially an overnight, with total ease. It is comfortable to wear, and for $43, I can't really complain about anything so far for $43. So if you're looking for a simple backpack to add to your collection, it's called Outlife. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And again, don't be embarrassed. Don't judge yourself if you're using a $43 backpack and everybody else out on the trail has, their $300 backpack. I do when I come across someone, there is still that little thing inside of me that kind of says, gee, mine says Electron 60 and theirs says, Z-Packs, whatever. I do tend to even judge myself sometimes, but wear it proudly, all you budget backpackers.